Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is what you don't see coming for the week of June 7th, 2026. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it's meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video, if I can get my words out, there's a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, let's begin. Sometimes I channel too slowly, people complain. Sometimes too quickly, and people complain. So I apologize. Use that gear icon on the video to adjust the speed setting to your liking. I will try to slow it down for you now. Tapping into the Leo collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Leo not see coming for the week of June 7th, 2026? What do they not see coming? One more shuffle here. Thank you. What do you not see coming this week? Always partying. And at the bottom of the deck, we have ego. Her ego. Someone's ego could be getting in the way here. Tell me more about always partying. Why is this something that Leo does not see coming this week? Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We'll look at it, but we won't take it. Okay. We have the Sun card, which is your energy. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. Your energy for the week ahead. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Death card. Well, that's actually a nice progression. The situation, environment, or connection you're dealing with. Six of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and Temperance. Okay. Let's get some cards on the table. Why is the Five of Cups here for Leo this week? Why is the Five of Cups here for Leo this week? One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Cups is clarified by Four of Pentacles, the World card, and the Eight of Wands. Three of Wands. Why is the Three of Wands here? One more shuffle. Thank you. Three of Wands is clarified by Five of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and the Moon. Four of Wands. Why is the Four of Wands here? One more shuffle. Thank you. Four of Wands, clarified by the Lovers, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. You're moving very quickly towards something. Something, someone. Why is the Death card here? Clarify the Death card. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Death card is clarified by the Two of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles. I have a Leo collective here where you are wrapping up a cycle, and albeit there's some remorse and regret here, you're moving on very quickly. I feel like this was something that you've held on to for a long time. Now, for some of you, it's a situation, an environment, or a connection. For others of you, it's just that feeling of sadness. So you're going to have to take it how it resonates to you. It's also a predictive reading. So, and it is for the week ahead. So we'll see what happens here for each of you. But the feeling here is I've held on to that Five of Cups for too long. Four of Pentacles to the Five of Cups. Either have held on to the remorse and the regret and the sadness that something didn't work out or that something ended, or I'm holding on to a situation, environment, or connection that, you know, continually leaves me in that Five of Cups. So take it how it resonates to you. But I see you quickly this week. You're shutting the door on it. I feel like you're done with whatever this is. It's like I need to move on from this. So you're either leaving behind the feeling or the situation, environment, or connection that creates or causes that feeling for you. Next, we move into the Three of Wands. That is the Sun in Aries. And I feel like Aries is a very me, myself, and I. No offense to Aries, or if you have Aries placements. There I go channeling quickly again, so I'm going to slow it down. No offense if you're an Aries or have Aries placements, but there's a feeling here of like, now I can move forward. I feel like for a long time you couldn't move forward. There was a feeling here of like, I can't move on from this pain or the remorse or the regret or the situation, environment, or connection that causes that for me or conjures up those feelings for me. But now it's like, after all this time of holding on to the situation, environment, connection, or just the feeling, I am ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. I want to be happy again. I want to be victorious again. I mean, I could be speaking to a Leo here where this is the week where you decide to like give notice to work, quit your job, tell your roommates you're moving out, end a relationship with the person. Or if you don't have anything monumental like that you've been considering leaving, this could just be, I've been holding on to that feeling for so long, like the sadness, the disappointment of something that ended in the past. And this is the week I'm freeing myself from that feeling or that energy. So take it how it resonates to you. But this is what I mean by fast. There's like, I'm leaving this job for this job, this living situation, this person for this person. There's a very quick turnover here, or I'm leaving sadness behind just to embrace happiness. It's an active choice you're making in the Lover's card. You're saying, I need to do this for me. I need to get out of being in something or feeling a particular way that has kept me stuck. I don't want to feel that 5 of Cups anymore. I want to be happy and I want to progress forward quickly. The Death card is clarified by the 2 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the 2 of Pentacles. Again, it's either a connection or the disappointment that a connection created and you were still holding on to the disappointment. But this is rapid closing out. I've thought about this long enough. I don't want to feel this way anymore, or I don't want to be connected to this entity, this energy, this person who makes me feel this way. This for you is a moment of celebration, partying. I don't think that you're actually partying over this, but there's a feeling here of I either don't want to be associated with that anymore and I'm moving on, or I don't want to feel the feelings anymore and I'm moving on. It's very much a celebratory feeling here for the Leo collective, especially as you get towards like Wednesday and beyond. There's something very freeing that I either don't have to deal with it anymore, no, I won't be dealing with it for much longer, or I'm no longer holding the weight of the emotional weight that, somebody caused me. It's a very freeing energy. It's an emotionally freeing energy. Now we have this person. I don't know who this is, right? It's the boss, it's the family member, it's the lover, it's an ex, I don't know. But this person isn't taking it so well. This is someone their ego is hurt. Their ego is hurt because you're deciding you don't want to work with them anymore, work for them anymore, interact with them, collaborate with them, be their friend anymore, be their lover anymore. It could be an ex where you're choosing to not return to them and you're just like, nope, did that already. There's something like that. There's someone here who's not particularly happy that you're choosing to move in another direction, or that you're just very happy over this ending. Like, let's say this is someone where a relationship that ended for you a month ago, and for a whole month you've been holding on to the pain and the sadness, and now this week you're all happy and they're seeing you either out and about or they're seeing you online and their ego is hurt, like, wow, you recovered quick. So there's someone here like that. You're either like exiting their life this week, or you've made the decision to do that, or like I said, it's already happened, but this is a week you're like unburdening yourself from the pain that caused. Either way, this person seems to, yeah, their ego is hurt. Tell me more about this. One more shuffle. Their ego is hurt. 9 of Swords, up in their head, Hanged Man, and the Emperor. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles. This person's ego is hurt. I don't know why Leo doesn't want to work for me, work with me, come back to work, be my friend, be my family member, be my lover, reconnect with me. The Emperor has a lot of ego. This person is not understanding why you no longer want to connect with them, be in connection with them, professional, platonic, or romantic, or you're over the feelings that you had about losing them. Tell me more about this person this week. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Empress. We have the Fool. Told you, your new beginning. And the 3 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. I don't know how this person is finding out. There's some tangible proof. So they already know you quit the job last week. You're starting that new company this week. They know about it. Or you're giving them your notice this week because you have a job elsewhere. So that's like tangible proof. You communicated this to them. You've told them you don't want to be their friends or associate as a familial connection anymore. Or, you broke up with them. There's something like that here. Like, this person has tangible proof that you're moving forward, you're moving on, you're working on something else, collaborating with something else, possibly dating someone else. But the feeling here is that, like, you made the choice to leave them behind or to move on from them, or you make moving on from them look very easy. Anything else Leo needs to know about this person this week? I have a feeling for one of you watching, you have some kind of online presence. So there's something here where, like, let's say this is an ex and you broke up with them or they broke up with you like a week ago, but they're seeing you online and it's like, wow, Leo doesn't look broken up at all. Now, maybe you are. I mean, I've had my moments here in the last 2 years where I've had to do readings and I have to leave my stuff at the door and come up here and do a reading. And then I've engaged with that person or I've talked to that person afterwards and they were like, you looked great. And I'm like, I've been falling apart since our argument. So, you know, so there could be something like that here at play. Like maybe inside you are still a little Five of Cups, but that's not what you're presenting either to the world or to this person this week. This person is taking a hit to their ego because you seem to be okay without them. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's how they're taking it. Anything else about this person this week that Leo needs to know about? Anything else? One more shuffle. Thank you. Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and King of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Three of Swords. This person's having a hard time with the fact that you are moving on from them, not wanting to reconnect. Or again, that feeling is you make separating from them or moving in another direction look far too easy. And I don't think this person's going to tell you that. But there is anger there. There is frustration. They're trying to look the other way. I wish I had an overhead so you could see. So it's almost like they've got their head down. Like I'm going to pretend I'm working on something else, or I didn't see that, or I don't know about that. I'm going to pretend it doesn't bother me. The king is looking away from what you're doing. So it's like, I don't think this person's going to say anything to you this week. But just know that they know that you have moved on. You're in the process of moving on, and you make it look really easy. And, you know, easy is relative. You know, what you choose to put out there into the world is a lot different than what you feel in your private times, right? So this person's seeing you publicly, some way, somehow, or hearing about it. Or like I said, you're telling them. 3 cards of advice here for Leo this week. This is really moving forward quickly. So just maybe you want to slow yourself down a little bit. One more shuffle. Thank you. You have the Devil card. Slow yourself down a little bit. Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Bottom of the deck. King of Cups. Yeah, you're moving towards something. As I'm closing this out and I'm going here, just make sure that you don't have rose-colored glasses with whatever the here is. I know you're excited to quit this job. We'll just use that as an example because maybe they were a shitty boss or something like that. You're super excited to give your notice. You can't wait to start the next job. Just don't go into it blindly. Okay, I know it's a new job, it's a new opportunity, and it probably is better than what, you know, the current job that you have that you're leaving or that you just left. But that Devil to the Ace of Pentacles is like, especially with that Two of Swords that's blindfolded, it's like, just don't wear rose-colored glasses. Same thing if you're like moving on from one person and you're dating another person. Just make sure that you're seeing the red flags here. I'm not telling you it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. There's just something here about see it for what it is. No red flag, you like, don't ignore the red flags type of thing. 3 cards of advice. By chance, for those of you where you still have to interact with this boss or this friend or, I don't know, this family member, this vendor that you're canceling, something like that. But 3 cards of advice for my Leos who still have to deal with this person this week. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice. The Emperor. That person came out twice here as the Emperor. King of Wands, they came out here twice as the King of Wands. And the King of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Swords. This is only for those of you where you're still interacting with this person to some degree. Just acknowledge that even though they're putting on this brave face where everything's in control and they're just fine and they're looking good and smelling good and they're still dealing with all of their day-to-day responsibilities, that underneath the surface, they are dealing with the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 4 of Swords. Okay, there's a World card. Because of this ending, because you're moving on or you gave notice at work or whatever, they're hurting inside despite what they may be presenting to you or to others publicly. This is someone who's really impacted by your loss or by the separation that is occurring between you and them. That is what I have for you, Leo, for the week ahead. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.